Right, so let's get started with the fun stuff. Now, to write a computer program, we need to use a text editor or a code editor. And the code editor that I like to use is called
Visual Studio Coding.
Visual Studio Code. So if you don't have that already, you can go to Google.
And download it for free.
Yeah, you can download it for free. If I could get Google started. Here we go. So if we put in Visual Studio Code and select that, see if there's a link there to download Visual Studio Code. So there are plenty of tutorials out there on how to do it. I mean, it's very straightforward. I'm not going to go through it right now. But yeah, if you've got a Windows, download for Windows. If you've got a Apple Mac, download for Mac OS. All right, so let's get started. We're going to open up our Visual Studio Code. And we are going to create a file. Now, the first thing that everybody has to do when they're learning to program is create a Hello World program. I don't know why that is. I've got to do a bit of investigating because everybody has to create that Hello World program, and we're not going to be any different. We're going to do the same thing. So first thing we've got to do is create a file, and we're going to save it as Hello World. So if you type in Hello World, and all Python files end with .py. That's how we know it's a Python file. So if you put .py, and that's our Python file there. So there you go. Now we can start the magic. This is where the magic happens. We're going to print out Hello World, and to do that you need to type print. So if you type print, then put brackets, shift and 9. There you go. Quotes and hello space world. Oh, you've got a pipe there. Doesn't matter, you can leave it. Wola. Hello space Wola. World. Word? I'm not doing word. Right. So we're going to save it now. And to save it in Visual Studio Code, the shortcut to do it is Control and S. Or otherwise you can just do save. So now we're going to run it. This is where we're going to run our first program. Yeah. Here we go. So to run a program, to run a Python program in the terminal, we've got the terminal down here. And to run that, all we've got to do is do Python and then type out the name of a file. And what's the name of the file?
Hello World.
.py. That's not going to work because that's not how you spelled it. There you go. Double it. No. So if we do a split and copy it there, hello world, lowercase, .py. Enter. Yeah!
Yeah.
There you go. It's printed out hello world with the pipe. So that was your Hello World program that you've just run. How exciting is that?
Great.
All right, if you say so. Okay, so let's move on from that then. Right. So well done, son. That was your first program. So let me just explain to you what's going on here. Now, this bit that I've highlighted here, this is a string. A string is a sequence of characters, and it is enclosed in these quotes. Yeah, so you can either use the double quotes or you can use single quotes. So just to prove it, if I printed out single quotes, hello world, it'll do the same thing. So let's get rid of this one here. Save it. Let's run it. There you go. Hello world. So single or double quotes, that becomes a string. Now, this is where it gets interesting because we can have this string 15. Now that is a string. Yeah. But if you wanted the number 15, you'd have to print it like that. Yeah. So let's save that. What is it gonna print?
15.
Yeah. So it's gonna say hello world, then it's gonna print out 15, then it's gonna print out 15. So let's run that again. There you go. But those two 15s are different. One is a string and one is a number. So I can prove that. So if we do print type and we put 15, that should say string. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this one here. Let's do that. And what does it say? Class string. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, we can do a lot of things with strings. We can add them together. So now, if I do print hello, and then plus another string, that would print hello world. So let's do that. What does it do? Hello world.
Hello world.
Yeah. So we can add two strings together and it will join the string and print it out in one line. Yeah. Okay. But what we can't do is add a string and a number together. So if I had 15 here, let's put 15, add 15 the number, that will not work. That's going to cause an error. Let's just do that. So if we run the program again, what does it say?
Can only concatenate string.
Not int. Not int to string. So a number in a computer, a whole number in Python is an int, which is short for integer. Yeah? So whole numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or -1, -2, those are ints. And you cannot add an int to a string. Yeah? Okay. Right. So another thing that we can do with string, we can multiply the times that they're displayed. So if we put hello world here, and what is that, single quotes? Yep. And we can multiply, how many times do we want it to be displayed? We want it to be displayed 20 times. Okay, we can do that, and let's save it. Let's put a space there as well. Let's save it. And if we run that, as you can see, hello world is being displayed 20 times.
How about 800?
800? Blimey, gosh, you're gonna be here forever. Right, let's try it. 800. There we go.
I've tried that.
You tried that?
Good.
Is it? Right, let's go. Wow, that was quick.
But there's loads of 800.
Yeah, that was mad. Look how long that was very quick. Right, so that's that. That's all right. We're done with strings now. Yeah.
Right.
So we've seen what we can do with strings. Right. So what we're going to look at next, we're going to look at variables. Right. So yeah, variables. Yeah. So what a variable is, it's just a container. It's just a place that you store things. Yeah. So if we want to get somebody's name, their age, you know, any bits of information, we can store it in a variable. Yeah. And how you write a variable is simple. So for instance, if we want to get somebody's first name, yeah, sometimes when you're signing in to Roblox or any of those type of places like that, does it ask you for your name?
No.
What does it ask you for? Your username? Ask you for your username. Yeah. So that username is going to be stored in a variable somewhere. So basically, they would say username equals, and we'll just put any name there, equals Dave. Who?
John.
John. All right. Equals John. Now we want it to be a string. Yeah. So we've enclosed
How
it
about
in the
Michelle?
quotes. No, we'll do John. So equals John. Yeah.
We need,
And
we
the
need
age.
capital letter.
Do we need a what?
Capital letter.
We need a capital. Oh gosh. All right. Thank you for correcting me. We need a capital letter. Right. And then we're going to take the age. The age. We're going to say the age is
50.
50 or 15.
50.
50. Gosh, it's an old man. Right, here we go. 50. Yeah. So, easy way to print out these variables again is just doing this. Print username. And what do you think it's going to print?
John 50. No, 50.
No. It's just going to print out the username. Yeah. So if we do print username, let's run the program again. And see, it prints out John.
Where's 50?
Now we can do underneath here, we'll do print 50. Print age. Yeah. Print age. Save. Run the program. John 50. Yeah. Now, what we can do with that, we're going to have some fun with these variables. You can do, remember before I added strings together? So let's do that. Let's do that. So if we say, we'll create a string and we say, the user is run back, and it says the user is
John.
John. And the reason why it can do that, because username is a string. And you remember I said earlier, you can add a string to a string. Now, can I put this? This is what I want to ask you now. Can I do this? Print, and then let's put his age is, and then we're going to add, yeah, let's add age. Can I do that?
No.
Why?
Because you're gonna have to do a number. Yeah.
If there's a quote on it, I'll be able to do it. But if it's a number, it's going to cause an error. So let's run it. Let's run it. Here we go. Error. And there it says, can only concatenate strings, not int. And that is because it's a number. But if we do this, if we add quotes, will it be all right?
Yep.
Yep, it will be. So let's run that. There we go. His age is 50.
50 John.
Yeah, right. So here we go. So now we're going to have a bit of fun. That was variable. So anything that you want to store, whether it be a number or a string, you can store it in a variable. And that variable will hold that value. Yeah? So we're going to work on something else now quickly. There's another thing that I want to quickly touch on is a condition. Now, a condition is just, for instance, let me explain it to you like this. Now, imagine if you were having a party and you wanted to invite only a few of your friends. Yeah? So you sent out your invites, and if anybody that comes there that's not invited, they won't be able to get in the party. So a condition does this. It says if, and then else, or else if. Yeah? So if the person is invited, we will let them in. Else, if the person is not on the list, we won't let them in. Yeah? So we're going to write, this is now we're developing our program. Now we're thinking about, okay, how can we make the program do what we want it to do? Right. So we're going to write out our if statement. So we're going to say if username equals John. Yeah, so what that is doing, it's taking the value of username, which is this string here. So username is this string, John, and it checks if it's equal to this string here. So it says if username is equal to John, yeah, then we will print out, hi John, welcome to our party. Else, so the else is if it does not, else will print you were not invited. So let's run that. So what do you think is going to happen? If we run the username John, is he going to be welcome to our party?
Yeah.
Okay, let's run that. So we'll do that, run program. And it says, yeah, hi John, welcome to our party. Right, so I'm going to comment out this so that doesn't get in the way. So what we're going to do now, we're going to change the username. And we're going to say the user is David. Yeah. So now it's going to check if username equals John. Does David equal John?
No.
It doesn't. So what is it going to say?
You were not invited.
That's what it's going to say. So let's run that again. Whoops, I haven't saved it. Let's run it. Let's run it again. One more time.
You were not invited.
Were not invited. So what you've learned here, this is the basic building blocks of writing a program. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's about instructing the computer what to do using these kind of statements. Yeah. So you know what, we've done quite a bit today, so that's enough for you today. All right, son? Yeah. I know you're probably jumping up and down now. Yeah, you're very happy. But no, this is great progress. I'm happy with what you've learned today. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. So on the next time we're going to cover for loops, while loops, and I'm going to show you a real world example of how to print images on a screen using for loops. Yeah, so thank you very much. If you like what you've heard today,
subscribe, hit that notification button, and comment down below what you liked about this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.